Okay. Hey, this might be a little weird. Um, a little weirder because I am recording on my iPhone right now and at my friend's house out in the middle of nowhere, Florida. Well, not in the middle of nowhere, but it takes like 45 minutes to get here from my house. And it's only like 23 miles. Like, I measured the time, or GPS told me how far it was, so it's only like 22 or 23 point something miles or something like that. Takes a solid like 45 minutes to get here. It's not bad though. Anyways, so good morning. It's almost afternoon. True to form, I didn't go to sleep until like after 5 o'clock this morning. Um, Came over to my friend's house yesterday, last evening. Um, Came over. She used to live in town. She used to live like 10 minutes away from me. And I used to come over to her house and do laundry and just hang out and like make dinner or whatever we were doing. And so, kind of like to keep the tradition in her new house, I came over last night and did laundry, and she was cooking dinner. So we had steak and zucchini, sauteed zucchini, and then we watched movies and smoked and just caught up because I hadn't seen her in a while. So now I'm here, and she went to bed early because she had to go. She went to bed earlier because she had to go to work today. And yeah, she took a nap on the couch. I stayed up the whole time. Like, she got up at midnight. We got up, we smoked a bowl, stayed up for a minute, not very long. She went back to bed and then woke up and was gone, was at work. And then I looked at the time. And I was like, are you serious? It was like 11:23, which is about every morning. I wake up about the same time at 11:23, regardless of the time I've been going to bed. So at least I'm still getting an okay amount of sleep, I guess. But I figured sleeping on her couch with windows all around, because she lives in a trailer, and or a mobile home, and so I figured with all the lights, like, I'd wake up. Oh, no. But anyways, that's obviously one thing that's on my mind is my sleeping patterns. So, and I'm like addicted to YouTube. I'm addicted to doing my videos because already, like, this is only my 4th video, and I'm like excited to do it. Like, I'm excited to do my wake and bakes, and I think it's mostly because I get to talk. Just nonstop. Although with my friend last night, we were talking, and I just kept talking and talking and talking. I was like, see, this is why I need to do a YouTube video, because all I do is talk. Like, I talked for our whole conversation, pretty much, like, me just talking. And I told her, I was like, I'm sorry I talk so much, and she's like, no, it's cool. She's like, you're not bothering me. But we've been friends for so long. Like, she's my friend. She's my sister's best friend from middle school, and we ended up being, like, we were roommates for a short period of time. Her and my sister were roommates for a while, and then I moved in and was some roommate for a little while, and then we've always been friends. Her and my sister had a falling out for a good 5 years or something like that, but the whole time her and I were friends. And so yeah, she's like one of my oldest friends. And but it's funny because I think about all my friends, and I've had a lot of friends. I have a lot of friends, and they're all like, I don't know. It's weird. Like, there's a spider. Oh, motherfucker! I saw him going on the coffee table behind me, or behind, like, running behind, like, the my phone on the edge of the coffee table that's behind me, and it all of a sudden I didn't see it come out from behind, because so I have the way I have this little tripod thingy set up. I'd move it, but I think the spider's still on my phone. But anyway, so the way it's set up is I have it on a citronella candle with the lid on it, and then my phone's right on top. And then right behind it is like this little kid's toy, 'cause my friend has kids. Nope. Oh, it just jumped. Creepy! Ew. Here, I'll show you. Oh, oh, never mind. It went off this edge. Anyway, so point being is it was going behind like the coffee table, and it reached like behind, like right, like say this is like the halfway point, like this is the halfway point behind the can. All of a sudden I didn't see it coming on the other side, and then all of a sudden it comes crawling up, and it's like right there on top of my phone, like looking at me. And then I moved, and then I was like, oh, and that when I said, oh, there's a spider on my phone, it was right there, like literally right there. And then it like turned around and backed down, and then I started talking about it, and then I was talking about how I'll pick up my phone, and it was behind there, and then anyways, and then it jumped off the can right behind it, and then just walked. Ugh. Ugh. It was a small little, like just one of those little tiny spiders, which if you're from like pretty much anywhere else in this country but the South, the spiders are little, pretty little. Like in Colorado, we have pretty small spiders. Like the biggest spider I think I've ever seen are like daddy longlegs or black widows. Like I've seen black widows, like, you know what I mean? Like I've run across them. Like that's one thing that we see in Colorado. Like if we're gonna see a big spider, we'll see one of those. And but no, down here, fucking the spiders are big, cockroaches are big, palmetto bugs, whatever. And yeah, that's the one thing I hate about living in the South. Ugh. But anyways, well, not the one thing, because there's a couple things I hate about living in the South, but I like the alternative. I like being in the woods. Right now I'm out in the country with oak trees and Spanish moss and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, so we'll smoke, and I was thinking about maybe going out and showing you guys the area just because it's so cool out here. But yeah, there's a mobile home. There's a single wide mobile home, like, oh, I don't know distance. I don't know distance very well. So if I say 100 yards, I mean kind of far, but not very far. I'll show you guys. Like I'd have to, since I can't rotate the camera while I'm recording like I'm used to with FaceTime, then I will, you know, just do selfie style. Look, so here's this, and here's this, and here's this. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. This is the first time I'm doing it on here, and I know I keep looking at myself because I keep forgetting where the camera is. And I've seen like one person mention it. I've seen one person mention it for sure on Facebook about how it's taboo to look at yourself. But I'm so used to looking at myself that to me, like, I can just keep talking like I'm talking to myself. So, which is why I like camming. That's how camming works out so well for me. Is because usually, like, I am talking to everybody who's like chatting with me. But since I'm the only one that I'm really looking at typically, because it's very rare that I open up webcams not anymore, like just period, because not a ton of people ask me to watch them on cam. But usually I use myself as kind of a point of reference as far as feeling like I'm talking to somebody or whatever, instead of like just talking out loud. But even then, like, given the opportunity, I'm sure I could fill the space if I was just talking to myself. And I didn't at least think that somebody was watching my videos. So, anyways, cheers. I started a bowl last night, and probably I'll just finish this one, I think, for now. I love smoking outside. I went with my friend yesterday. Like, we just walked down the driveway to go get, like, the driveway's down, like, it's not very long at all. It's a 16th of a mile, maybe. Anyways, so it just at the end of the driveway is the mailbox. And, so I just walked with her. She's like, I feel like walking. So I was like, well, she's like, I need to go get the mail. Let's walk and go to the mail. So I was like, okay, whatever. Walked barefoot, which is totally, like, southern thing to do, I feel like, or a little kid thing to do, because I used to walk around barefoot when I was a kid in Colorado. Well, in Florida too, but mostly Colorado. Florida, I feel like, because of all the ants and shit, like, you should wear shoes. Like, you should always wear shoes outside. Other places where there's not freaking fire ants that can bite the crap out of you, barefoot, you know, like Florida, you should always wear shoes. Always. I guess you can always watch where you're walking, but whatever. I feel like I was gonna say something. I remember. So, boo boo, boo boo boo. Anyway, so, oh, I mentioned in my video yesterday that I might be moving into my friend's apartment, and I got denied yesterday. So that's something that if anybody has any questions, I am not moving into that apartment, and I'm bummed about it, but I had a feeling. I always like prepare for worst case scenarios. Like, I like to consider myself a realistic optimist. I believe that, I really do believe that anything is possible. I believe that, especially like I believe that positive outcomes are always possible. Always possible. You know, where everybody kind of gets what they want, I feel it's always a possibility as long as people are willing to compromise. As long as you're willing to compromise a little bit, like still, you know, still want the core value or the core idea or whatever it is, like something specific, like, you know, you want to make a difference in life, or you want a career that's going to make you happy or whatever. Like, as long as that core value is being fulfilled, then you can compromise on the how. So, like, you know, I always want to be happy, but I can honestly be happy doing anything. At least for a while. Like, you know, present happiness, I think, is always possible. Like, I'm happy with where I am in life, but I don't like my job. So it's kind of like, what I mean, you know? I'm happy. I have a job. I'm happy that I have a job. I'm not happy with my job. I want to leave my job. I want to change my job. And I want to change my primary source of income, I should say. Like, I would stay at my job if it wasn't, like, my primary source of income right now. So right now it is. And I don't like the fact that that job is my primary source. Like, I have to rely on that job. And it's like, I would rather rely on something I love. So that's kind of like where I'm at right now with that. But overall, I'm content. Like, they've given me a set schedule, so that makes me so happy. Like, I have nothing but good things to say about my company, because they do their very best to take care of their, not only customers, because they're really known for customer service, but, you know, they really take care of us employees. So, you know, it's not their fault I don't like the job. It really is not their fault. It is a personal problem. I don't like my job, to be honest. So I don't blame my job for my career dissatisfaction, I guess. It's the best retail job I've ever had, I'll tell you that much. So I just wish I liked retail. My boss asked me, he's like, so have you ever thought about a career in retail? I'm like, I'm currently in my career in retail. like, I'm 10 years in. I've been in this job for 2 years, but I've been in retail or some form of customer service for a solid 10 years, at least. You know, I wasn't always in retail. Like, I worked at tattoo shops for a couple years in there. I worked at restaurants for a few years in there. But I've also, like, it's always customer service. It's the general public. And I love I love small retail. And, like, I would rather work for, like, a boutique where, you know, like, or own a boutique. I would totally use my retail experience to own a store. I totally could, like, I really could own a retail establishment. But the business I want to get into is marijuana. So I'm kind of like, I could totally get into, like, I would do like a clothing, shoe, and accessory boutique. I also want a, sorry, I'm all congested. And I want a marijuana establishment, but I don't know if I want to sell product or what I could see myself doing is opening up a retail boutique or something like that, and then but like also have a coffee shop next door, and then because I want a coffee/smoke shop, and then probably with a bakery. Maybe edibles bakery. I don't know yet. I don't know. It just depends on where, because I'm not in a place that I can open up that kind of business. But I would totally do it. I would totally do it. Colorado has like all those little coffee shops, and I think I could do it here. But I also want to go to school for cosmetology, which I'm looking to start in August. So there's always that possibility of opening up a salon. Like, my thing is, I just want to own a business. I want to own a business, and I want to own a business that I like going to. So my sister's in cosmetology school right now at Aveda Institute. Awesome school, by the way. And that was just totally involuntary plug because I love Aveda. Anyways, so my sister and her best friend slash, classmate, they were talking about opening up a business together, and I was like, dude, I'll totally come in. I'll run your books. Like, I've helped run tattoo shops, so I would venture to guess it's pretty similar as far as like business structure goes and how things are done. And I could do that with the salon. And my sister's potential business partner wants to eventually have a salon with a tattoo parlor, like at least maybe one resident tattoo artist or something. And there's a salon in Colorado that does that. At least one salon that does that, where they're an actual salon, and then they also have like a tattoo shop or a couple tattoo shops. Or a couple tattoo artists, I should say. So that's something I would love to do. I love tattoos. I love the industry. I don't know how to get into the industry here in Florida just because I don't have any connections. I didn't have any connections in Colorado how I got into it, but a tattoo shop was advertising for hiring a host or a receptionist, so that's how I got into it, and the rest is history. And then so I've been in that industry off and on for 8 years, 9 years. No, 8 years. 7, 8 years, something like that. Off and on. The first time I got into that job was 2008. First time I ever worked for a tattoo shop. I love it. Like that. If there was a tattoo shop, there's a tattoo shop here that I think hires like front desk people to sell jewelry and stuff, but I don't know. Like, I don't know if they advertise or whatever. So I've called them on occasion to see if they're hiring. But, like, I don't really want to be a piercer. I could be a piercer. I could. Because I went to school for medical assisting. I know anatomy. I went to school. I'm halfway through a bachelor's degree in biology. Like, I have the knowledge to get it done. Like, I have the dexterity. I just don't have the practice. I've done a few piercings. I haven't done a lot. But I know where to pierce. I know where to pierce. I know how to pierce. I know what kind of jewelry to pierce with. I know how to sterilize jewelry. I know how to set up. I know what supplies are needed. I know roughly how much to charge if I were to kind of do it commercially or I just looked over and that little spider started walking towards me. I was like, no! Anyways, I should end this now. It's like 20 minutes, 37, 8, 39, 40. So I should go. This has been a longer video than I actually thought was going to happen because I figured that, yeah, I figured I didn't feel like I had much to say, so anyways, just a little look-see at where I'm at. It's cute. I love it. Oh, the house is over here. See, I don't know if you can see it. It's like right there. And they renovated it. It's got all brand new floors and stuff like that. But I'm not sure I really want to be neighbors with a friend. At least right now. I feel like with all that's with all that's happened at home and all that's happened in life in general and stuff like that, I just feel like that's where I need to be right now. Like, I got denied from that apartment, so I feel like it's probably a blessing, to be honest. Like, I might have dodged a bullet, or I might have been struggling harder than I really should be struggling. Financially, I struggle a lot. So, like, in my future videos, I'll probably be venting about finances. Finances stress me out. Like, I think that's the biggest stressor in my life, are finances. Like, everything else in my life is kosher. Like, life is good outside of my financial life. So, but whatever. Like, if that's the worst thing I have to complain about, then I'm doing pretty good. My health is good. My family's good. I have good relationships. My dog's healthy. I have a job. You know, I am making money. I have I have food in my refrigerator. I have an apartment. I live by myself. You know, and my apartment's pretty good for what it is that I get. And I live near my dad, which is what I want to move here for. So, you know, life is good. Just my finances are like the biggest thing that I hate in my life. But I'm doing pretty good. Like, I paid my rent this month, and all I needed to do was borrow $5 from somebody. Like, that is an accomplishment for me. Like, it's a huge accomplishment for me. So, I paid my rent with, like, very, very little help from anybody. I could have scrounged up $5 from the change that I had in my car, and maybe I might have been able to scrounge up $5. But a friend let me borrow $5. The friend that, well, actually has the apartment. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If you're watching this video, you know who you are. And, yeah, because other than that, like, confession time, I've had to have help from my parents every month. Like, since I moved out of my mom's house in 2013, I've had help from my parents financially to pay my rent, to pay my bills, and this time I didn't need my help from my parents, and I just needed to borrow $5 from a friend, like a homie, like, hey, you have $5 I can borrow, and no big deal. And she's a good friend. She's such a good friend, and I'm like, I owe this woman everything. I owe this woman to get my finances in order too. Like, I really do. I owe a lot of people to get my shit together. So that's what I'm using YouTube for, is to get my shit together, to get my life in order. And I'll be chronicling it on YouTube so that I'm able to watch it and I'm able to look at myself. So I'd be happy to look at myself in the eye and be like, you know, you did it, or whatever. Like, congratulate myself for just looking in the mirror, really. Facing myself in the mirror every day. So, yeah, I like it. I hope you like it too. Anyways, so thanks for watching. And if you watched this, obviously you made it to the end. And thank you. Just thank you. I don't know. The fact, I'm just making these videos, and I'm hoping that people like them. And I haven't really been, it's only day 4, so I haven't really been, keeping track. I've just been kind of, figuring out what I'm going to talk about is what I'm really focused on, is what I'm going to talk about, because I feel like I do want to focus and keep track of that, only because, like, it might seem that I'm not being calculated, or I'm not, I'm just being random or whatever, but I do want to talk about the things that are important in my life, and maybe somebody will relate, maybe somebody will find something relatable in what I have to say, or I'm really good at giving advice, and I do my best to give myself the same advice, so maybe, like, some of the advice that I'm giving will help somebody out in some way, or some of the advice I'm giving myself, or, because really, like, you'll see the progression of the advice I'm giving myself, really, too, and just, like, I know all the answers to what it is that I have questions for, really. It's just a matter of finding them, or utilizing them, or acting on them. So, anyways, this video is really long. Did not mean for it to be this long, but, if you have nothing else to do, sit back, I should preface some of these videos about, like, hey, this might be a long one, or actually, you should probably always have something to munch on, something to drink, something to smoke while you watch my videos, probably. Anyways, hope you guys are having a great day, and the weekend's coming up, so, wait, what? Oh, today's Thursday? Friday. Happy weekend! Everybody have a good weekend. I'm going to be working today and tomorrow, and yeah, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this from me, and thumbs up because it's awesome. Lets me know that, like, you like what I'm doing. Leave me comments, questions, suggestions, anything down below if you want, and if you don't, oh well, whatever. I'm on Twitter, Facebook. No, I'm not on Facebook. Not on Facebook. Not for public, anyway. Actually, I think you can follow me on Facebook, but you can't. I don't know you. Whatever. Anyways, I won't even go there. Maybe I'll advertise, like, maybe I'll start putting the links in the comment box below for, Twitter. Since I'm mentioning it now, I'll go ahead and do it. Or at least Twitter and Instagram. But anyways, bye guys. Have a great day. Don't be a dick.